Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you a haul video on the things that I got while we were on vacation. And while I'm just chatting in the beginning, I thought that I would just let you look at, this is the shower curtain that I got, and I'm going to make it into a fabric journal cover. So I took this with me along with some other things that I had picked up, some seed beads and sequins and different things like that. And so I threw this in my bag so that I could take it to go. And this is what I did while I was down there. I didn't actually get a whole lot done because we were pretty much busy the whole time, which was wonderful, and everything on our vacation was awesome. I apologize for not being here last week, maybe the week before. I'm not even sure when my last video was, but I had everything planned out. You know, you get everything planned out just the way you think it's going to be, and then it just doesn't turn out that way. So the week before, the Tuesday before we left, the week before on Tuesday, we left on Thursday of the next week. On Tuesday, my husband was taking me to physical therapy because I wasn't allowed to drive yet. And we had a car accident and it totaled our van, and everyone was okay. We were both okay. The other driver was okay. And so that is the main thing. Everybody was okay, and that's awesome. So, but it did total out my van, and the accident was on Tuesday. We found out on Friday that the van was totaled. So then between Friday and the next Thursday, we had to find a vehicle so that we would be able to go on vacation to our daughters. And we did. We found another nice van. And Tuesday morning, before we left to go to physical therapy, I paid off my van. And then a couple hours later, we totaled it. So, that wasn't so great. It was kind of cool feeling like the vehicle's paid off. But, so we'll just start over with that. It's not a big deal. And because they totaled my van, that took care of a lot of the new van that we got. Well, not new, but new to us. So, so that's why the videos did not come up while I was gone. And last week, by the time we got home, it was late and there was just no way I could do a video for Tuesday. And it was just, I was tired. So, so that's kind of what was going on. And why I was behind on my videos. But like I said, life happens and we can't control that. So we just go from there. And so I just thought I would show you, this was really fun to be working on. I'm really having a good time with this. Show you a little bit of what I have done since it's not much. I just have a button and a sequin there with a little tiny bead on top to hold it all together. I did a little bit of orange. I don't even know what that is. I think it might be a stem stitch there, and a little ribbon rose. I couched down this. No, I went ahead and I did a stitch around this whole piece, and then I took this and wove through it. I don't know what that's called either. I'm not an embroiderer. I'm not a sewer or a stitcher, but I love to watch people do these things. I watch Sonia Steptoe, and she's doing a lot of fabric right now, and it's just cool to watch and to learn to do these things. I just never remember the names. So, and then I did some French knots here on this one, and then I did messy French knots as I went up so that it would fill in the spaces more. And when I first learned to do a French knot, it took me forever to figure out how to do a French knot without it being all messy like that. And then I found out that a messy French knot is like really a knot that I watched a real stitcher do. And it was really cool. And I was like, man, I practiced all that time to get this nice, perfect little French knot. And the messy ones are really useful, like in this case, to fill in that wider space instead of this little tiny thin space. So don't worry about it when something doesn't quite come out right. Just go with it and have fun with it. So this is a piece of a doily and just a little bit of fuzzy yarn there. This is a great big piece, or this is a piece of a great big curtain. And I just chopped off a piece, and part of it kind of swooshed like that. So I cut that out and put it on here. I colored it with, I think I colored it with a permanent marker. And I've got another one on this side. I've decided, I started doing the whole thing flat like this. And so I kind of started right here. And then I decided I don't think I'm going to do the back because this kind of thing on the back, even just stitching on the back, if it's a journal and it's sitting on a table all the time, or even when you've got it open and you're writing or whatever, that back is just rubbing. So I've decided that I'm not going to do any more on the back, except I'm going to stitch this down somehow because it's just lightly glued on there with some stick glue. But I just put another little sequin in the center of there and couched down this piece of fuzzy yarn on the back. That's all I did there. And I did the same thing here. So, and this is that same fuzzy yarn except in a different color. And then I did some beads. I'm not good at this beading part yet, on how to get them down and make them look kind of, you know, nice and straight, but I'm working on it. And you know, I'm just trying to learn how to do that, but I've got some little seed beads up the middle and then some buttons, and that's as much as I got done. Which was not a lot. I just did a little bit in the morning when I got up, and, you know, then we were just busy the whole time. So, but I thought I'd show you what I got while we were there. And let's see, where do I even start? Well, let's start here. So we didn't do a lot of shopping, but the places that we went had some cool things. This was Easy Marble. And so this is marble paint that you put it in water and then you dip something into it. And then, so you put the paint in and kind of swirl it together just a little bit, dip something in and take it out. And it marbles whatever it is that you're working with. So I thought they were $5, but that day that store was having everything half price. So it was $2.50. And so they only had two. The other one was really crushed, so I didn't get that one. I got this one. And, but I just thought that this would be kind of fun to play with since that's what it's made for. I've marbled with other things before, but I thought it might be fun to play with the real thing since I could get it at a good price. So, and then we did stop at the Dollar Tree, and I picked up a couple of the Jenga blocks because I like to use these wooden blocks for different things, and my Dollar Tree hasn't had them in a while. So I picked up a couple of these just so that I would have them. It's really nice to have those little bits of wood around, and for $1.25, and they're already cut and they're already sanded, you know, they do come in handy. They work great to put stamps on, your own phone stamps. They work really good for foam stamps. And so, and then I got this little kit because I had already checked out at this store, and then I saw they had this hanging up, and it's kind of like one of those, the bird scissors, and I just think those are so cool. I do have my mother's, they're really good ones, but I'll never use those. So I thought these would be fun to see if they work well. They were $3, so it was worth it. Plus, you know, they come with some other things, little thing for, your eyelashes, and there's a pair of tweezers, which tweezers you can always use in crafting, and a little mirror or something, which, you know, I don't need all of that stuff. I wanted that, which was worth $3. This would be good to make texture marks on if you're painting with something. Tweezers come in great, you know, handy for things. And so, and even the little mirror, putting just a little bit of paint on that and using it as a paint palette, just a nice little tiny paint palette, also works well. So that was fun to find. And then these were 50 cents, and these are just like the larger size index cards, but they're not lined. I like the ones that are not lined, so basically it's just a piece of cardstock. But I do like those, and for 50 cents, and they're all cut right to the same size. That's awesome. And then we went to a second-hand store, and they had these there from, I'm not exactly sure, I think it was like a nonprofit that makes these. I don't know what it's called, but anyways, so they had a basket of these there, and so I thought I'd try them because I always wanted to try this when I saw it on TV. And this is that kind of spongy type tape that's double-sided, sticky, and it's supposed to hold anything. And then if you twist whatever it's holding, give it a twist, it'll come off. And then you can wash this, rinse it, and reuse it. So I've always wanted to try it, and for $1 I figured I would get one and see how it works. So and my daughter did use some to put up some pictures while we were there. So but she also used some screws and stuff too, but she used this just as a double, just to double up to make sure it all stays. So I don't know exactly how it works yet. And then I just thought these were really kind of cute for Halloween. I'm not a big Halloween person. Don't do a lot of Halloween, but I did like the looks of this one. So for me, Halloween, a lot of it is just kind of creepy. But this one didn't look creepy to me, and it could look creepy to you. But for me, it was just, I liked the stars. I liked the colors. There was just something about it that I liked, so I picked it up. And then I got, this is 35 sheets of tissue paper. And, you know, they're getting smaller and smaller as you pick them up nowadays. You know, like 20 sheets or 10 sheets. But this was 35 sheets, and they had them for $1. So I picked up 2 of those. Also, when I was at the Dollar Tree, I picked up a leather rug. Now, the leather rug was $5. I didn't quite realize that until I was about ready to check out. I don't know if I would have bought it knowing it was $5, but I already had it in my hand, and we were getting ready to check out, so I did get it. But the one thing that I thought, they were really long strips of leather, and they kind of are not. Basically, what they are is they took a piece of leather, and you can do this with paper too, to get yourself a long strip of paper. So they just took a square of leather that originally was just this size, like this, and then they just cut it. They cut it this way, and then they went over and cut it this way, and then they cut it this, and that does give you a long strip, but it's not, so it's, you know, perfect for weaving or whatever, but it's not great necessarily. You know, I couldn't use it to do a spine of a book, but I can use them to do like the hinges on the spine of a book, like this. Oops. So like if you had a journal or something and you wanted to hinge it together, for looks mostly, because I mean, I don't just put hinges on a book, but I do like to put hinges on books, on journals, you know, basically for looks, and they do also make it more sturdy. So I started pulling that apart, and then I left the rest of it there. So that was kind of disappointing, but our daughter's going to come, I think, in August. We're going to fly her up here in August, so I'll see if she can fit it in her suitcase when she comes. And then we went to Pigeon Forge, and we went to dinner there. And so the place where we went to dinner has a little store next door. And I got this, I think it was like $3. It was $3.99, which I thought was a really good deal. So it's just, it's paper between regular paper and cardstock. It's not as thick as cardstock, not as thin as copy paper. So it's a nice book of paper. I loved the pictures on the front. Of course, I love making these types of collages. I actually have one that looks a lot like this, a collage that I did. So I liked the front, but then when I turned it over, and I'm going to read these because I love them and I think that they're awesome. So it says, to draw, you must close your eyes and sing. That was by Pablo Picasso. Creativity is contagious. Pass it on, by Albert Einstein. Oh, the things that you can think up, if only you try, by Dr. Seuss. You were wild once. Don't let them tame you, Isadora Duncan. It is important to remember that we all have magic inside of us, J.K. Rowling's. Always be on the lookout for the presence of wonder, by E.B. White. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice, by Steve Jobs. And I loved those, and that's the reason I got the book. It's not that I haven't heard all of them before, but I really love them, and having them all in one place, I really found that quite impressive. And so I wanted that book, and that's what I got as my little souvenir. And then I picked this up for $1. And what these are, and I think there's 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are leaf bags. So these are when you rake your leaves. They're huge. And I'm going to undo that plastic now that I'm home. But they're also very heavy weight. They're like double thickness of your regular brown paper bag. So, and even the one thickness is a nice, you know, the paper bags are now getting quite thin and flimsy. And so, but you could very easily just throw a little glue wherever if it's separating, and just have a really heavy piece of the craft color paper. But, and it has writing on it. That's fine. It doesn't have writing on the inside. Oh, these were from Home Depot. So, but this is, it's about 36 inches tall. And I'm going to just kind of guess. Well, I got a ruler here. I don't have to guess. So there's 12. So it's about 16 inches wide. So, and about 36 inches tall. So that is a whole lot of cardstock or craft paper for $1. They were $1. And so I really couldn't pass it up. Plus the fact that I loved how sturdy it was, because I used to use bags a lot, and the thinner they get, the less that I like to use them. And then my final, most wonderful thing that I got, well, technically, the most wonderful thing that I got was kisses from my daughter and my grandson. So it was awesome to be there. I got this. So this is a glass fish bowl, and they put this doily on top, which I thought was really cute, but look what's inside. It is full of the old wooden sewing spools. And that's all that's in there are wooden ones. Even, I thought that this one was plastic, but when I looked closely at it, even that green one is wooden. But you don't find these anymore. I paid $15 for this, which is uncommon for me. I normally don't spend that much for something that I'm just going to put this out for decoration at this point in time. Unless I found an awesome super craft for these, I don't think I will use them, because I've used them all along. But the problem is that I've used up what I had, and they just don't make them anymore. Now everything is plastic. And they're very hard to find. So I just really loved that. I thought it really looks cute, and it would look cute up on my sewing desk, which I don't really have room for it. I'll have to figure that out. But I really did love that. So I think my two favorite things were my book and my spools on the things that I got. Those were really, really cool to me. So, but thank you very much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. I apologize for not being here. Like I said, I had it all planned out. I was going to do a couple of room tours, you know, because I am going to still do the room tours. And I'm not going to have the room totally straightened up, because I was trying to get it all cleaned up before I started to do the series. And I just never could get it clean enough. You know, I mean, I was always piling things here and there. So there will be piles of stuff here and there when I show you, because that's real life. I probably won't clean off my table, because a lot of things I set up on my table on purpose in order of things that I'm doing. So, but yeah, I definitely am not gonna dust it right now. If you'll notice, I've been using my hand. I got my sling off. Luckily, I was still in the sling when we had the accident, so that kept everything nice and safe, and we're working through it. I can do things like from my waist out here, and it's working really well. I still am not moving my shoulder the best, but it's getting there, and you know, physical therapy is really helping. So, but I really did want to be here, so I will be back with room tours. I'm going to do it in parts. I'll probably do one with a quick walkthrough. And then I will probably do it in parts, because my room has different areas so I'll just do an area at a time so you can see things a little bit more up close. I still won't be doing like all the drawers or anything, because there's just too many. I've been doing this since I was a little kid, and I mean little. And I do keep things. I am a bit of a hoarder. So, and I collect. So I've been doing this for like 60 years. So that is why there's a lot of stuff here to show you. And so it'll be in parts and pieces. But thanks again for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I know I'm just kind of like babbling on. I have to get even back used to doing the videos again. But thanks. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.